Reverend Anthony D. Shuford, K9 Handler and Trainer. I would just like to discuss with you guys about the actual subject of potty training. Potty training can be very, very, very difficult for first time pet owners. Okay, it can be very, very difficult. It can become very, very frustrating. So today I would like to just discuss with you about some tips that can be very helpful. It can be very beneficial if you really are looking to be successful in potty training your puppy. Now, of course, everybody wants their puppies to be potty trained. You want this, you want this. Why? Because the majority of the time, you're going to have your puppies inside with you. Something I want you to understand is that puppies are actual dogs and they're not humans. So, therefore, if we anthropomorphize our dogs to be something that they're not, then we're going to be greatly disappointed. And that's going to lead to the frustration that a lot of owners have when they get their puppies and they find out that the puppy is having a hard time being inside, and the puppy is beginning to, guess what, begin to release liquids and solids onto, of course, those nice wonderful floors, the couches, the bed, or wherever you desire to have that canine to actually be allowed to be. So without further ado, I would like to first give my first tip. My first tip is when you first purchase a puppy, okay, what you want to do is you want that puppy to be able to use the restroom for the first time outside. Okay, I'm going to say this again. You want your puppy to use the bathroom outside first. Now, there are some things to be very cautious of. Number one, if your canine hasn't had the rabies, the parvo, or if they're not up with their vaccinations, then you may not want to, guess what, allow your puppy for the first time to roam around in areas where there's heavy traffic of different types of animals, such as raccoon, possums, cats, and other dogs. Okay? Now, if you want to gain forth the greatest vantage point, well, ensure that you're able to take that puppy to an actual location where you don't have a high um, footprint of animals. All right. Take that puppy to an area where you know that you don't have any animals at, and allow your puppy to go ahead on and pee and defecate outside your home for the first time. All right. Now, the reason why you want to do this is that you're going to sit back and you're going to begin to stop, look, and listen and begin to pay attention, okay? Pay attention. Pay attention to how your puppy is behaving. When you see the puppy, he's out there or she's out there and they're frolicking and they're playing, and then all of a sudden they stop like this, their nose begin to go down, and they begin to, guess what, circle, okay? They begin to circle, 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 and they stop, they pee, and they poop. That's going to be what's considered to be the telltale sign, okay, 1%. That's going to be the telltale sign of your canine signaling to you by way of bodily behavior for when he or she is going to have to use the restroom. What you don't want to do is you don't want to take your puppy inside of your home and begin to start playing with your puppy, and you give your puppy full reign of your home, because when you do that, your puppy is going to find different locations and start peeing and defecating in your home. And when a canine begins to pee and defecate in your home, they begin to kind of mark their territory, okay? They have instinctive behaviors within them that says that here's the deal. I desire to mark this spot, okay? I desire to begin to take what is considered to be control of an actual area. Now, your home is in your care and your home is your territory. What I want to share with you all out there is that you should not allow a puppy to have full reign, okay, to your actual home. You need to control how much of an area that you allow them to have. So now you can actually have a pen, you can have an actual cage, you can have a crate, okay? I mean, you can get very creative and build whatever you desire, but you don't want to allow that puppy to begin to have full access to your home. Now, what you want to do is you really want to create what is considered to be healthy boundaries, okay? Healthy boundaries, okay? Healthy boundaries are very important. You do not want your puppy to be allowed to get up on your couch. You do not want to lay down with your puppy on your chest on your couch. You do not want to start laying down in the bed with your puppy and sleeping with your puppy. You don't want to do those things. Why? Because puppies, once again, their bladders are not fully developed. So therefore, if you begin to lay down with this puppy and you begin to tell the puppy that it's okay for this puppy to dwell in that space with you on that couch, well, when you get ready to get off and the puppy decides to climb up, jump onto the couch, where do you think he or she is gonna use the restroom? They're gonna use the restroom on your couch. Same thing for your bed, okay? Same thing for, say, for instance, your living room, your dining room, your kitchen, your bathroom, your bedroom, your children's bedroom. I'm just here to let you know that a puppy cannot begin to dissociate the kitchen from the living room to the dining room to your bedroom. Only thing they see is, guess what? This is an actual area. This is an actual area, all right, where the puppy is desiring to begin to mark their territory. Now, typically about 4 to 6 months, this is where you're going to basically begin to see that the canines is going to basically be able to hold their liquids. They're going to be able to hold their solids a lot longer, okay? Between 4 to 6 months. Notice I said 4 to 6 months. Many breeders out there, what they will do, they will sell you a puppy at 8 weeks of age, okay? It's best to get the puppy at 12 weeks of age versus 8 weeks, okay? 8 weeks, the puppy is young. I believe that the puppy should stay with the mom until about a good solid 12 weeks. Why? Because the mom is going to begin to teach the puppy their place, healthy boundaries, and as well as manners. All right. When you go and purchase a puppy, say for instance, at 8 weeks, that's like you bringing in a newborn baby, and you got to basically begin to teach this puppy how to be a dog. You got to do everything that a mother would have done for that puppy between the periods of when the puppy is born all the way up to, guess what, 12 weeks. All right. Now, let's talk about, okay, how to begin to have a greater understanding of knowing how long your puppy can hold their liquids. All right. You do not want to leave water freestanding in your home. Okay, don't do that. A majority of the homes are going to be roughly at about 72 degrees, 72 to 74 degrees. Okay, understand that puppy does not need a water bowl out 24/7 full. Okay, same thing for when it comes down to the actual feed bowl. You do not have to have an actual feed bowl. Say, for instance, you don't have to have a feed bowl full of food 24/7. Okay, a lot of times we have a lot of big, huge accidents that take place, okay, with our canines because we're overhydrating them and we're overfeeding them. Okay, a great rule of thumb, all right, is number one, you want to sit back, feed your puppy, give your puppy water. Okay, typically after you've allowed the puppy to play, after you allow the puppy to have good mental and emotional stimulation and nurture enrichment, after you feed and give water, go ahead and put that puppy in that pen. Okay, something I want you to do is go ahead on and get yourself a nice little stopwatch, hit the stopwatch on, and you're going to sit back and just watch your puppy. Okay, 9 times out of 10, the puppy's gonna go to sleep. If the puppy goes to sleep, go ahead on, go about your business, but keep your stopwatch running. Then once you allow your stopwatch, guess what, to keep running, you're gonna sit back, watch your canine. Hey, Miss Mays, and hey, Soel Buckets, how y'all guys doing out there? And how y'all guys doing out there to many more? All right, appreciate that. Now, as far as that, please, Uncle JJ, support me. I don't know who that is, but nevertheless, we're talking about potty training dogs here. All right. I just noticed that now in my feed, I'm seeing all you guys out there. And thank y'all guys for watching this live too as well. The big topic is 100% about potty training your puppies and how to get past that. Now, getting back. All right. Once you see your puppy in the pen begins to stop and begins to circle around, you want to pick that puppy up immediately, take that puppy outside, and allow that puppy to do business. This is something that you're going to have to be very structured, very dedicated to, and you've got to be consistent. Now, there is a possibility if you're structured, disciplined, and you are 100% consistent, that you may be able to train your puppy in less than a month. Okay? Sometimes it can be less than 2 weeks. It's all based upon what type of breed that you've got. All right? What type of breed and their intelligence and their willingness to, guess what, please you. All right? Now, next thing is, should you go out and get puppy pads? Yes, go out and get puppy pads. Yes, 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 yes. Now, here's something that you can do. You take that puppy pad and you put the puppy pad inside of the pen. All right? Now, just in case, let's just say for instance, just in case you find yourself in a situation to where, like we get caught up, we're unable to be consistent, you can begin to teach that puppy to basically go on that pad. Now, before you sit back and you put that pad inside of, say for instance, your actual pen that you have the puppy in, what you want to do is go ahead on, take some grass from outside where the puppy has been peeing at or pooping at. Put some gloves on, take that grass, and what you're going to do is you're going to rub that grass back and forth on that pad, okay? You're going to take that pad and put it in the pen. Understand, canines, they 100%, 90% of the time, they utilize what's called olfactory system, which is best what their sense of smell, to basically guide them and also to direct them. All right. Now, as you put that there, you're going to sit back and watch your puppy again. That puppy's going to go up to that mat, start sniffing. 9 times out of 10, they're going to sniff immediately where that grass is at, where they actually use the banyo, the bathroom, and they're going to go on your pad. That's another way of training your puppy to learn how to utilize an actual pad. Okay, now, what I want to share with you guys is you don't want to become solely dependent on that, okay? Allow that to be a countermeasure to help the canine learn how to, guess what, pee and poop where you desire the canine to actually be, all right? Now, what I want to share with you guys is this. You don't want to become dependent on the pee pad, okay? Don't become dependent on the pee pads. Don't have 100 pee pads throughout your whole entire house, okay? Learn how to utilize one pee pad, and that one pee pad should be in the pen where the puppy is at, okay? Now, you want to most definitely, once the canine pees on the pee pad or poops on it, give praise and reward. Immediately take that pad out because your puppy is going to sit back and decide to say, hey, let me go run and step in my pee and my poop. Let me lay in it. Okay, keep in mind, maturity is still immature. All right, now, next thing that you can do is this. Once you have accomplished being able to teach and train your canine to utilize a pee pad in their pen, you can begin to, guess what? Take the pad out and have the pad at the door at the particular door that you utilize to take your canine out of when he or she has to go pee. You keep the canine in the pen. Keep in mind, once they've drank, once they've eaten and everything else, let them go back in that pen. Let them sleep. When they get up, When they see that pad is not there, they're going to be looking for that pad, and they're going to be start whining and start scratching at the door of the pen. Scratch, 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 scratch. What you're going to do is when you see that, hear that, grab that pup, take that pup to that pee pad. Remember, you still want to utilize the grass from the outside where the canine's been peeing and pooping, smear it on that pad previously. The canine's going to pee and poop. You praise the canine up. Now, final thing. The way that you get away from all of your pee pads, if you utilize that method, is now, once the canine is in there, once again in their pen and poop, their pen, what you're going to do is you're going to open up the pen whenever the canine has got food, got water, got sleep. Now they're whining and they're doing that circle. Open it up. That canine's going to run, guess what, to the door where there is no pad. He's going to look outside. He's going to look at you. Let he or she go outside, and now you have, guess what, potty trained your pup. Now, for all of you out there, here's the deal. This is one of the most unpopular topics to talk about, because everybody wants to talk about how their puppies can do all these different positional changes, sit down, and do all this advanced training. But one of the most important trainings is, guess what, potty training. So if you have seen that this content is valuable, okay, please like, follow, and subscribe, okay? I'm looking to ultimately build my channel. Now, of course, with me basically sharing this information, if there's just one person who is interested in this information, hey, you know what? That creates value for me versus having 1,000 or having 1,000,000 followers. For me, I just like sharing content that is, guess what, helpful and beneficial for those of you who are out there who has, guess what, canines. And you're looking to learn different types of methods to better train them, to create a better relationship between you and your canine. So God bless, God keep you. Oh man, Daisy Freedom Fighter. She says, my dog was 17 years old, boxer, American bully. I just had to put my best friend down last Thursday. I feel so sad and lost. Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting that to be shared, but I will sit back and tell you this right here. Understand that God, he himself, he is the giver and he is also the taker of life. That's number one, okay? Number two, out of all of God's creation, I need you to realize that the dog carries God's name spelled backwards. And what's beautiful about that is the attributes that God has towards us, which is unconditional love, unlimited forgiveness, the loyalty, and the willingness to sacrifice their lives for you. God did it with his son for you by way of offering up Jesus Christ as a living anointed sacrifice on behalf of our sins to save us from ourselves. All right, sorry about that. Something happened. My camera just froze up. I want you to understand that God loves you and that God cares for you, and understand that God, he himself, is the provider of all things and the healer of all things. So of course, with your loss, understand that God loves you, and understand that if you lean upon him, he will give you a healing and a freedom for you to always rely upon the actual your loss by way of remembering the great memories of the dog that you lost. Okay, so God bless you, God keep you. We'll see our guys next time.